Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light about the challenges appertaining to improving your quality of life. So what are some of the challenges appertaining to improving your quality of life? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. First and foremost, it can be a Brobdingnagian challenge of unprecedented proportions to ascertain how to improve your quality of life. It can be a challenge to gain the knowledge necessary to be able to alleviate chronic stress. It can be a challenge to gain the requisite knowledge necessary to be able to alleviate chronic burnout. It can be a challenge to gain the requisite knowledge necessary to be able to ameliorate your ailing health. So, you need to be able to ascertain how to improve your quality of life and execute that knowledge. That knowledge needs to be pragmatic, practical, and of a real-world application. Your plan to improve your quality of life should not be desultory. You need to take anodyne, precautionary, prudent measures in order to be able to improve your life so that you are all the more poised to be able to move your life in a forward movement trajectory. You want to be able to augment, enhance, and aggrandize every facet of your life. You never want to regress. You never want to be stymied nor stifled. You never want to stagnate. You do not want to lumber your way through life. You want to draw forth a pathway to success. And you want to make inroads towards reaching your overarching goals and higher aspirations. Do not lament. It is possible to surmount the challenges associated with improving your quality of life. These challenges can be overcome. You can become more knowledgeable, more adept, more competent, more confident over time. You're not siloed into just having a narrow, myopic, scant, meager knowledge base. Over time, you can accrue a sizable, behemoth, colossal, massive, enormous knowledge base. Another challenge appertaining to improving your quality of life is having the self-discipline, having the willingness to incessantly execute the requisite measures needed to enrich every facet of your life. Are you willing to embrace a nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich, anti-inflammatory, alkaline, raw fruitarian diet every day, or every day that you eat? Are you willing to engage in heart-healthy exercises on a daily basis? Are you willing to indulge in quality deep sleep for a prolonged period of time each and every day? Are you willing to embrace intermittent fasting each and every day to eliminate cancer cells, senescent cells, advanced glycation end products, viral infected cells, fungal infected cells, and of course, bacterial infected cells? Are you willing to engage in healthy social circles? Are you willing to partake in stress alleviating activities on a daily basis? Are you willing to take all the requisite, all the necessary measures to improve your quality of life. Knowing how to improve your quality of life is a challenge within itself, but being able to perpetually execute the requisite measures needed to sustain improving your quality of life so that your life does not go into your arrears, metaphorically speaking, and so that you are less apt to falter is a challenge within itself. Not everyone has the self-discipline to embrace intermittent fasting. Not everyone has the self-discipline to embrace heart healthy exercises on a daily basis. Not everyone has the self-discipline to sleep for multiple times per day in order to mend their vessel. Not everyone has the self-discipline to commit to being a part of healthy social circles. Not everyone has a self-discipline to partake in stress alleviating activities as deemed necessary to allay, to mitigate, to nullify chronic stress. Some people prefer to wallow in their angst and their anxieties rather than doing everything in their purview to alleviate that chronic stress. It could provide you with some catharsis to engage in stress alleviating activities. Do not allow stress to accrue. Do not allow it to further fester itself in the bowels of your mind. It is living in your neurons rent-free, and it's pervading all your neurons, tainting your mind, clouding your judgment, and impinging on every facet of your life. It is inimical. Being exposed to acute chronic stressors, being besieged by acute chronic stressors is internecine. So, what is another challenge associated with improving your quality of life? If you're willing to work as an entrepreneur, being able to earn enough revenue so that your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate can generate enough revenue to offset your recurring expenses, for the prospect of being able to have an abundant, prosperous, auspicious, blissful future is a challenge within itself. It's not easy to be profoundly successful as an entrepreneur, especially if you compete in highly competitive, overly saturated markets that are replete with competition. Competitors often have ample, potent competitive advantages. They often have attained substantial brand recognition, strong brand loyalty, and of course, robust brand equity. They typically have prodigious content reservoirs and prodigious product catalogs. And they typically have substantial market share. And they're typically always vying for more market share because they want to be able to amplify their customer base as well as increase their sales revenue, increase their profits, and increase their sales volume. So it's not easy to be profoundly successful as an entrepreneur, even if you are a highly creative, highly industrious, prolific entrepreneur. Your content, your products can be deemed meritorious, worthwhile, stellar, but they may not build traction, they may not transcend into becoming bioproducts. And if they do not, then it will just limit your success. Your success is predicated upon whether or not your target market consumes your content and products if you work in the capacity of an entrepreneur. So the challenges of improving your quality of life can indeed seem daunting, overwhelming, and arduous to surmount, but do not be discouraged. Do not fret. Have the temerity to attempt to surmount them. They are not insurmountable. They can be overcome, and you should do everything in your purview to move your life in a forward movement trajectory, and enrich, enhance, augment, and significantly improve every facet of your life. You want to be able to manifest. You want to be able to actualize the best version of yourself into reality. You want to be able to reach your latent potential, achieve your overarching goals and higher aspirations. If you have enough revenue on autopilot from your recurring revenue streams as an aggregate to offset your recurring expenses, then you could hone in on working towards reaching your higher aspirations and overarching goals. And you can spend more time pursuing health optimization activities. Of course, it is a challenge to be self-disciplined enough to execute that knowledge of optimizing your health, and it is a challenge to sustain pursuing health optimization activities in perpetuity to improve your quality of life, but it can indeed redound to your benefit and pay off in the long haul. You want to be able to live a life that is devoid of chronic stress, chronic fatigue, chronic inflammation, and ailments. You do not want to succumb to a noxious, deleterious, lethal, hazardous, perilous chronic disease. You want to be able to attain robust, vigorous, stellar health. And part of doing that goes beyond that ambit of just embracing nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, alkaline, raw fruitarian diet. It also involves embracing intermittent fasting if you have a healthy BMI well above 18.5 and are eminently nourished and eminently hydrated. You should also take vegan supplements to preempt succumbing to any nutrient deficiencies and to attain optimal nutrient levels. You want to attain optimal health, and you want to attain optimal wellness. So do everything in your purview to improve your quality of life and hone in on overcoming the challenges and impediments or roadblocks that are encumbering you from improving your quality of life. If you can overcome them, then you could ascend to the next level and hopefully aggrandize every facet of your life, or at least improve certain aspects of your life. We should always strive to improve ourselves and not regress. We do not want to stagnate. We do not want to falter. And we want to be able to manifest the quintessential version of ourselves into reality. The healthiest, happiest, most intellectual, most competent, most confident, most adept, most moral, most ethical, most virtuous, most righteous version of yourself is the quintessential version of yourself. So I hope that you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.